You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Mama always said I'd be the chosen one.
I'm not saying we've got to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, the strategic air base, before we evacuate everyone? I have been fighting for 17 years. I am willing to throw it all away to say to my senior leaders, I demand accountability.
I demand accountability. Now, those are the words of Marine Lieutenant Colonel Scheller. They got thrown into the brig, not just because of the remarks, but because he disobeyed a direct order. Don't do that again on social media. I want to spend a lot of time on that story today. More time than we have before, because there's several things in play here. One, he's right. He's absolutely right. When we made the decision to abandon Bagram Airfield, and maybe the generals were under the constraint of President Biden saying, I want it done here and now, and those troops have to go. They couldn't defend everything, and so that's when they made the decision. And if so, he refused to listen to them. But Marine Lieutenant Colonel Scheller saying, I demand accountability. I've served 5 terms in deployment. I've lost men. We have lost men and women in service to this country. Their parents, the nation demands accountability. And for that, he's facing charges under Article 32, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So, a couple specifics. One, disobeying a lawful order. If they told him, don't do it on social media again, and he did it, it's a clear violation of a lawful order. Number 2, conduct unbecoming an officer and a gentleman. Well, I'd have to say several officers and, quote, gentlemen have been unbecoming in their approaches and attitudes in the past as well. I'm going to be joined by retired Lieutenant Colonel Dakota Wood from Heritage, 20 years in the Marines. I count Dakota as a very good friend and a fellow Marine. I don't know if we're going to have a big difference on some of this, or maybe just nuances. There are some things we will agree on, and there's some other things I'm not so sure we will have agreement. But he's very candid in his opinion, and I think we need to hear it. And I damn sure want you to hear my approach on it. That'll be coming up later over the next 2 hours. Serious questions, and I don't know at this time how close we will agree. Also, Dr. Rich Lehman's going to join us, founder of U.S. Center for Sports Medicine, and talking about athletes, and particular in the NBA, about don't want COVID vaccines and the penalties they're going to pay. But we're going to expand beyond that. We're going to look at this Merck pill that supposedly can be just a pill taken that would be effective. In the meantime, there are questions about some of these drugs that you have already been given and why maybe some are not taking them, that maybe they've been derived from fetuses of aborted babies. And then we have this issue about they're trying to clarify and determine if they can use a COVID vaccine all the way down to age 5, maybe 2, maybe even 6 months of a child. And while they're trying to determine that, they've already said, oh, pregnant women, you can have the vaccine. That child isn't even born yet. That child is going to ingest and take anything mom does. We have been told that repeatedly. We're going to get into that. Budget bill mess, it's a total mess and a complete mess because coming election 2022, 2024, has Mitch McConnell already begun selling out GOP and the country? The Hunter Biden artwork and conflict over that, and even Americans on the left have had it with wokeness. And I want to take a moment to thank Kathleen England for filling in for me in my absence. I appreciate that, and I'm glad to be back with you. Lock and load, ready on the right.
You can hear podcast of this program at Larry Connors USA Facebook. Larry Connors USA Facebook.